Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in this crazy world we're living in. It's a very cold world at the moment in Spain. When I did my early stream this morning, it was literally 0 degrees. It's now gone all the way up to 9 degrees. It's so cold. That's why I've got not even my Christmas hat, my wool hat on. I've got two jumpers on. I'm frozen. I've got the heating on. The dogs are congregating now around. I've got just a little electric heater on, and the dogs are sort of congregating around it. It's cold, isn't it? So I'm going to have to dig out their little jumpers, I think, and get their little jumpers on them that they've not worn since last year. It really is cold. Anyway, I've already lit the candle for today. This is for Sebastian for this video. So that's what I'm going to talk about in this video. I'm going to talk about some developments. Not exactly developments, but, as it was Sebastian's birthday just last week, just a few days ago, there's been an uptick in interest in the case. And as you know, if you follow me on a regular basis, I have been following Sebastian's case, but I got a bit disillusioned with it all because it turned into sort of a circus and mudslinging and just a load of ridiculous things coming out. And of course, the police were so quiet. And when the official authorities are quiet, that's when everything else starts to go all a bit crazy, isn't it? And I have wondered obviously the police have gone quiet because they're doing an investigation into Sebastian's disappearance. And we're going to look at today, what we're going to concentrate on is Sheriff Craddock, who's the sheriff that's in charge of the case in Tennessee, and some of the things he said from, a long time ago up to right now, because he has just released the statement, which is brilliant and encouraging. I feel much more encouraged at the moment than I have for a while to feel that maybe something is going to get found out about Sebastian. It's not going to be one of those mysteries like Summer Wells, for example, that's going to go on years and years and years, and or Madeleine McCann, and we're never going to find out what happened. So it's felt a little bit more encouraging this week. So of course we looked at the Texas Roadhouse video that's just been released by After Dark, or whatever that private intelligence company is called, Dog the Bounty Hunter and Nick the Hat. And we looked at that, and of course people have made a lot out about that. But of course, I think what we've got to remember is the police will have had that video practically from day one. So although it's new to us because we haven't seen it before, I think you can safely bet that it would be the police that had it first, not Dog the Bounty Hunter. Oh, Riley, are you trying to photobomb? Look, you've got to get down. I'm trying to do a stream. It's so distracting. So that's not new evidence to the police. Neither is the green hoodie man. None of that will be new to the police. The police will have known about that for months from when Sebastian first went missing. So what we're going to look at today is actually what the sheriff's office have said recently, and then look back again at what they said like 8 months ago, which I think was about the last time that they really said anything official. And it's very frustrating, isn't it, when there's no information coming out at all from official information, but normally that's a sign that things are going on behind the scenes, isn't it? So I'm going to say hello to everybody. Gosh, my nose, honestly, it's red because it is so cold. I know I keep going on about it, but it really is. Okay, I'm going to say hello to everyone, and then we're going to get right into it and see what Sheriff Craddock has had to say just a couple of days ago. Hi, Laurie. Oh, you're always an early bird now, Laurie. Hi, Shelley. Hi, Heather. Yeah, good morning. The second good morning, Heather, for us early birds. Oh, gosh, my nose is so cold. Hi, Annie. Oh, hi, Jean. Is it foggy and freezing there as well, Laurie? Yeah, it's not foggy here. It's nice and clear, but it is literally so cold. Hi, BF. Okay, so let's see what he had to say. Sherif Craddock, very handsome man. And all that's got anything to do with it. I'm just saying that he is. Let's have a look. So the video's buffering, but it doesn't matter. This is an article. This was in the what's it called? The Tennessee some Tennessee publication by Nick Berries. Now, Nick Berries, he's the one who's been very involved in this inquiry, if you like. He's the one that brought us the lights video, etc. And he's someone that I think most people think that what he says about the case is more or less the official line. He doesn't make things up. He doesn't embroider the truth like, unfortunately, some other people do. So in Sumner County, Tennessee, for the first time in months, and it is months. I mean, I was looking for updates from official updates like press conferences. It's been 8 months since there was a proper press conference, which is like a long time, isn't it? And sometimes I wonder, do the police just sit back watching all this drama unfold on social media? You know, you've got Bullshit Betty, you've got Dog the Bounty Hunter, Nick the Hat. You know, what about there's no normal people involved in this with normal names. You know, they're like, it's crackers, really, isn't it? Because at the heart of all this is now 16-year-old autistic boy who went missing. You know, it's not about their drama, is it? It's not about them accusing each other. The war of the private investigators, the war of the YouTubers, the war of the family, you know, Seth and Katie and Chris. It's not about any of that. It's all about Sebastian. So, you know, the sooner put all that drama behind us, the better. But it makes you wonder, are the police sitting back watching all this and wondering if, you know, will something crack in the middle of all this drama? You know, they will be taking note of everything that's occurring, won't they? So for the first time in months, authorities provided an update on Sebastian Rogers, explaining the latest in a case so many are closely following. So I think, although, you know, some people, including me, have got disillusioned with all the sort of circus that it became, I don't think it's diminished anyone's interest in Sebastian. People care about Sebastian. You know, just even looking at that Texas Roadhouse video where he was thanking this, you know, he's got such a sweet little face, hasn't he? You know, and you can't help but be want him to be safe and feel protective of him. You know, you can't help it. He has impressed so many people with his sort of niceness, really. And, you know, we all empathise with Sebastian, whatever camp anyone's in as far as who they believe, parents-wise or PI-wise or YouTuber-wise. I think everybody empathises with Sebastian, don't they? Let me just check, make sure I haven't missed anyone. Hi, Chumba. Okay, so let's carry on just reading this. So this past weekend marked his 16th birthday, coming almost 10 months after Sebastian disappeared, and the Amber Alert remains active. Nearly 10 months after Sebastian Rogers disappeared, those leading the search effort say no one is giving up. It's not a cold case, it's an active and ongoing investigation, said Sumner County Sheriff Eric Craddock. So Craddock has been on the case since Sebastian disappeared from his Hendersonville home back on February the 26th. Oh my God, won't be that long, and it'll have been a year since Sebastian disappeared, which is just awful, isn't it? Hi, Joanne. A whole year nearly. So we're only 2 months off a year. And yeah, Sebastian's family, just like all families missing a loved one, facing a pretty miserable Christmas, aren't they? Since then, hundreds of tips have been investigated. To date, there still have been no confirmed sightings. In that vacuum, rumours continue to run rampant online from less than credible sources. And this is what the sheriff says. Well, it's real easy to sit on social media and make those comments, Craddock added. He said investigators deal with facts, seeking evidence and hard leads. Exactly. It's too much chatter on social media. There's too much rumour, too much speculation. You can only deal with facts. There have been few official updates in recent months, but the sheriff said investigators meet weekly about the case. So he's saying they're meeting up every week to discuss this case. And he says it's been transparent. And then he says something that I've said right from the beginning. There is some information that can't be released because it could be prejudicial to the case, and a successful resolution is my ultimate goal. So we've got to remember that they're investigating this case. You know, they have not arrested anyone. No one's been named as a suspect. Not Katie, not Chris, not Seth, nobody. And he's saying this is what unless you don't believe the sheriff who's in charge with the case, there's some information that can't be released because it could be prejudicial to the case, and a successful resolution is my ultimate goal. And then the EMA director, let me just make sure you're okay, all in chat. Hi, David. It's not a day that goes by that I don't think about Sebastian, said Widener. Widener has headed up search efforts around Sebastian's home and beyond from the very beginning. It is his team that stands ready to act on any credible lead that comes from the tip line. We have canines on standby, search teams and drones ready, and we go. The question of what happened to Sebastian very much remains open, and to date nothing has been ruled out, including the possibility of foul play. On that note, District Attorney Ray Whitley tells me he gets updates on the case each week. He says he stands ready to prosecute if it ever comes to that. And then it tells you where to go with tips on Sebastian's case. So I think that's very important. That's the first thing that official law enforcement has said for months, that there is some information that can't be released because it could be prejudicial to the case, and a successful resolution is my ultimate goal. So we have to listen to that. We have to put on our listening ears and listen to what the investigator is saying. Now, the video's not coming on, it's been buffering, but to be honest, I think I've just read out what they say in the video. So what we're going to look at now, though, is let's see, we're going to look at like the last press release, if you like, which was literally 8 months ago, so a long time ago. But we're going to have a look at it. See, actually, these press conferences, when we look at them later, they're always interesting, aren't they, to look at from a later date. Why won't that? I'm trying to make it full screen and it won't. Okay, fair enough. We'll have to watch it small screen.
I am Eric Craddock, ERIC-CRADDOCK, and I'm the Chief Deputy at the Sumner County Sheriff's Office. I'm joined today by Susan Nyland, SUSAN-NILAND, of the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. She's the PIM. I also have with me Sumner County Emergency Management Director Ken Widener, KENWEID.
Yeah, sorry, for some reason it won't go on big screen. Let me just see if maybe another one will. Just that one was 13 minutes. Yeah, let's try this. So it's better if I can get it on big screen, of course.
Mochila de expertos creadores. Explora tu creatividad con los nuevos avalodios.
All right.
There you go. Let's try this.
ERICCRADDOCK, and I'm the Chief Deputy at the Sumner County Sheriff's Office. I'll be joined today by Susan Nyland, SUSAN NILAND, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. She's the PIN.
So don't forget, this was 8 months ago. This is really, I think, well, I will have a look, see if I can find another one. But I think this is more or less the last official press conference that was given.
I also have with me Sumner County Emergency Management Director Ken Widener, KENWEIDNER. You guys ready? All right. Morning. I'm Eric Craddock with Sumner County Sheriff's Office, and we're going to come to you today with an update on the Sebastian Rogers case. Sebastian has been missing since late February. The investigation remains ongoing with steadfast support from the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigations, and many other local and federal resources. We are exploring every lead that comes in and every tip that comes in. As I said before, the investigation remains ongoing. The entire community is deeply saddened by what has occurred. We're all extremely concerned for Sebastian's welfare. I want to encourage the community to stay vigilant, to report anything that they think may be of some significance to the investigation, no matter how minute it may appear to be to you. Please call 1-800-TBI-FIND with any tips, or the Sumner County Emergency Communications Center at 615-451-3838. We understand the anxiety and the concern that this case has caused in the community. We too share the anxiety and concern for Sebastian. I want to reiterate that we are doing everything we can to find Sebastian and bring him home. Despite the passage of time, the commitment to finding Sebastian remains unwavering. I said this when we scaled the search back. Our commitment to finding Sebastian remains. We will continue to investigate every possible lead that comes in. The Sumner County Sheriff's Office wants to express our gratitude to the community and the many individuals who have helped in the search, the many individuals who have called in tips, the many individuals who have printed flyers and kept Sebastian's.
Sorry, just interrupt, because, whatever this other bit of information that he's just said that they have, that they can't release because it could be prejudicial to the investigation, maybe Sebastian was seen getting into a car with someone. Maybe they have some they definitely said on the FBI poster, it says he was last seen on the Monday, not on the Sunday. So whether they mean the early hours of the morning, at 3 a.m.-ish, like when those lights were seen, or whether they mean at some point in the morning. There's also now, and this is total rumor, I haven't heard this confirmed by the police or anyone official, that there may be a pair of grey slippers missing from Sebastian's home. Because, that's been another puzzle, hasn't it? Why would he go out without any shoes on? But this is now what people are saying. But again, this is a rumour. So, as far as I know, it's a rumour. It may be true. But of course, it makes sense, if his slippers are missing. Did he just pop out in his slippers to put the rubbish out, or did he run away, or did he have an argument maybe with Katie? And maybe we don't know that he did, but maybe the police know that he did. So it's hard, isn't it? We want to know what happened to Sebastian, and we're guessing, or we're trying to find out what happened to him. But we are speculating with half a story. We don't have the full story, do we? So. But I'd like to know, wouldn't you? What's this bit of information that he says they have that they're holding back? What is it?
Space in the news. Nothing would make me happier than to wake up tomorrow morning with a tip that cracks this case wide open and we find Sebastian and bring him home. At this time, I'll turn it over to Susan Nyland from the TBI.
Hi, good morning. Thanks for being here. We know how invested everybody is in the search for Sebastian, in finding out what happened to him and bringing him home. And we want to let everybody know he has not been forgotten. Nobody's forgotten about him. Nobody has given up looking for him. At the beginning of this investigation, there was a large land search for him. It was very visible. There were also waterways, lakes, ponds that were searched. There were aerial searches with helicopters and drones and fixed wing planes. They were done at night. They were done on weekends. They were done during the day. That was very visible, and it was something everybody was able to see. But we want to let you know that even though there is not that high visibility in investigating this case, that we are not done. It's gone back to what could be considered good old-fashioned police work.
Yeah, so she said then, and again, I just want to remind anyone who's coming in, this is a press conference from a while ago. The new news, if you like it, if you can call it news, is that the Sheriff Craddock recently said on Sebastian's birthday that they did have information, but they can't share it because it could be prejudicial to the case. But this actual press conference is going back. This is probably the last official press conference that was made. But you can see that the woman's saying, although even here she's saying, although it may look like nothing's happening, it is all happening. I think, sometimes we do have to trust the police in that sense. It's always frustrating. You think nothing's happening, but yeah, then suddenly something can happen, can't it, out of the blue? We've seen it in many cases. The police don't have to share their information with us. They don't even have to share it with the family if it could jeopardize the case. But we certainly don't have the right to know the ins and outs of every police investigation that's going.
Interviewing individuals, re-interviewing individuals, checking out leads, rechecking leads. We have been working with other law enforcement agencies who have had, in other jurisdictions, who have perhaps had some complex cases of their own that they have worked on to get tips from them. We have had, this day of technology with everyone having cell phones and doorbells and ring bells and surveillance cameras. That, as you can imagine, has been a bit of a chore to be able to collect all those and then review them. It's important so we know what's out there. We have been reviewing that, reviewing it again. We have had other agencies involved. The FBI has been helpful in that. Secret Service has also been helpful in that. So we are just trying to do whatever we can to advance the investigation. It has not gone to a place where anybody has forgotten about him or is not pursuing this. The parents have been cooperative throughout. At the beginning of the investigation, they have pretty much done whatever law enforcement has asked of them. At this point, we don't have any evidence. There is not any kind of an indication that there is a criminal element involved. But we are keeping options open. We don't know.
Now, we've heard that many times, haven't we? Or no indication of a criminal element, or we heard that about the Samantha Murphy case in the beginning. So I think that's a standard thing that the police say until they know anything more. So that doesn't mean to say there isn't a criminal element. But, we just have to stick to the facts. We have to stick to the official facts, which is Sebastian was seen on the Monday, last seen on the Monday, not on the Sunday. Now this Sheriff Craddock has come out and said they have more information, but they can't release it. So, they're not going to release it just because we all say, oh, come on, you should release it. They'll release it when it's ready. They're ready to release it. And the other thing that we have to remember is all the new information. There's not new information that's come out released by Dog and Nick the Hat and everybody. It's not new information. The police will have had that information right from day one. Do you really think that the police would allow them to release information? And are the police going to say, oh, we didn't know that, we hadn't seen that? Of course I've seen it, seen all of it, seen it months ago. It's not new information in that way. It's new to us because we hadn't seen it before, and it's been helpful to see it. It's good to see it. Just give everyone a load to talk about, depending on people's view is what they sort of say about it all. But, maybe it's took the attention off other things, people poring over that CCTV at the Texas Roadhouse. takes their minds off other things that might be going on.
Know what has happened. We don't know where Sebastian is right now, so we are pursuing any and all avenues. We do want to caution some, there are some social media elements out there who purport to have information that is direct from the investigation. I just want to reiterate that that is not the case. Some of the information that is being provided on some of the social media channels is inaccurate, incomplete.
Well, I think they could say that again now, couldn't they? You know, I've seen some crazy things on YouTubers' channels and things and TikTok. Just what amazes me is people are so immediate to believe what, you know, a YouTuber will come on and say, oh, look at this and this means this and that, and people jump to it and go, oh, yeah, there must be something in it, but they're so reluctant to believe the police or to believe you know, that, oh, there must be something in it, but sometimes there isn't anything in it. You know, the headlines that some YouTubers, I'm sorry, but some of the headlines that they give out, it's all this, oh my God, well, you know, what's going to happen here? And oh my God, did this happen? And that is pure hype for clicks. That really is pure clickbait. The YouTubers don't know any more than the police do. Or the family do, or whatever, you know, they just don't. And they can say they do, but they don't. And they're just doing it for effect, unfortunately.
We don't want this to damage the investigation. So we would just caution anyone who is following the case to just use some caution as to what you see and what you believe. It's caused a bit of a distraction because a lot of what has been out there in some of the social media channels has been rumors and speculations and theories, and some of that has been advanced and people have caught a hold of it as if it's what's really happening. That has resulted in us getting information that is either, you know, like I said, distracting. It's taking away time and effort from what the agencies need to be doing as far as looking for Sebastian. We have had so far, as of this morning, 314 tips that have come in through the tip line. It's been mentioned, but I'll say it again. It's 1-800-TBI-FIND. We are also taking tips through email, which is tips to TBI, TBI, at tbi.tn.gov.
Oh my God, you couldn't they give an easier email? God, did you remember that? I mean, you just wouldn't remember that at all, would you? I know you can go online and look for it, but you know, you think they'd have an easy email, like, you know, just find Sebastian at TBI or something, because people don't remember big long emails like that. It's a shame really that they haven't done more press conferences, even if at least every couple of weeks they did a press conference like this, just to say that they were still continuing looking, no new news, but, you know, please keep up with any tips, etc. I think the police, I don't, you know, the one thing that I think I am critical of is, yeah, you go 8 months without releasing any official update, then people are going to speculate. That's what breeds the speculation. Whereas if every couple of weeks they just gave an update, even if it was not really to say much, at least people feel like something's been done, don't they?
What's next? We want people, as Chief Deputy said, to continue to remain vigilant, get Sebastian's picture out there, continue to share his picture, his information. Now that it's getting to be nicer, well, not today with the weather, but now that the weather has turned warmer, people may be more inclined to be in their yards. If you go out and see anything that looks different, let us know. Something where perhaps a teenager could have hidden. If you have a large amount of property in the area, or something that has any kind of holes or unstable footing or ledges where a teen could have gone to hide or to play, and you don't feel comfortable checking it out, let us know. We'll get somebody from law enforcement to go out there with you, or to check it out themselves. We just want to make sure that every stone is unturned, that there's no stone left unturned, that we want people to make sure that we are looking everywhere we can. We do want to continue to get the tips, but please make it.
God, I've come to hate that expression, no stone left unturned. Well, of course, Designed, you've got to remember that they did go out with the cadaver dogs and everything right from day one. They did follow Sebastian's trail, etc. So I think they've tried from day one, and I doubt very much that they just accepted that he was a runaway from day one, that was the only thing they accepted. But anyway, we've all got our views.
Don't provide information that you might have seen through social media channels. If you have information about Sebastian, about conversations you might have had with him, things he likes to do, places he likes to go, any people he may have mentioned that are in his life, that could be helpful in finding out maybe what he was interested in. Finally, we want to thank the community. We want to thank the media. You guys have been really good about keeping his name in the public's eye. That's really important. And thank you for your diligence in providing that information out there. And as Chief Deputy said, we also want to thank the community. From the very first day, everybody has really been all in as far as whatever they can do to help in the search, to help pass information on, providing water for the teams that were out conducting the ground searches. So thank you again to everybody. I'm going to pass it back to Eric Craddock.
The weather is rolling in. We've got time for some questions. So, yes, ma'am.
I was doing it behind, so sorry if I missed this, but has there been any indication at this point of foul play or anything of that nature?
There is no evidence to support foul play is involved in the disappearance of Sebastian.
But at this point, you don't rule it out.
We're not ruling anything out.
So 5 weeks and
Well, I don't think you can say any more than that, really, is that there's no evidence of foul play, but they're not ruling anything out. You know, they've been round that house, they've searched it forensically, they've all taken lie detector tests, including Seth. You know, you've got to look at the evidence you've got, not try and think that there might be something else that maybe there isn't. They searched the retention pond, they searched the landfill, they've been searching, and you know, lots of other things that I'm sure we don't even know about. But of course, you know, we like to talk about because we want to know, we care about what happened to Sebastian, don't we? We all care about that.
you guys covered so much ground, searching, going back, researching, checked out every case of a possible sighting, nothing confirmed, not a trace of Sebastian anywhere, nothing found. Footprints, no video, nothing.
Nothing that is taking us to locate Sebastian.
And are there any working theories?
We come up with theories almost daily and try and investigate and make sure that we're doing everything we can to find Sebastian.
Share any of those?
No, sir.
2 questions, if I may. Have you ruled out Sebastian's mom and stepdad's involvement in this case? And as a follow-up, have you cleared their alibi?
I think the TBI said it best. They've been nothing but cooperative with law enforcement since day one of this investigation. There is no evidence to support foul play on the part of Sebastian's parents.
Is that interfering at all with your investigation? Is it changing possibly the avenues of communication?
No, sir.
You mentioned you were asked about recent evidence. We heard some rumors that you see a test of validity, that there were glasses found within the past few days. Can you confirm that?
There were some glasses found in the past few days.
Or have you been able to identify the important that?
We are still investigating.
And on Cajun Navy, have you found there, how was that coordination happening? Have you found their work helpful? Or you guys working with the same way?
The Cajun Navy is operating independently. They have not reached out to us.
Have you found their investigation, is their work helpful, or has it been one of the distractions that has been mentioned?
One of the things that I really appreciate they've done is print flyers and keep Sebastian's face out there. It's my hope that one day somebody sees something and calls in and this case breaks wide open and we find Sebastian.
They've claimed they've received threats. To your knowledge, have they filed any police reports or reports to the Sheriff's Department documenting any of these alleged threats?
No, sir.
Are we able to learn anything about what those threats are?
They would have to call the police and report them.
Where does the search go from here? It's been 5 weeks, there's been no signs. Do you believe he's still alive? And what are you guys going to continue working on?
My hope and prayer is that Sebastian is still alive, yes. We're going to continue to work on this investigation and follow up every tip and lead that comes in. Some of this may revert back to us going over some things that we've already done for the 6th, 7th, or 8th time. A fresh set of eyes never hurt anything. We're going to continue to work to find Sebastian.
Has the story been changing at all? Have you been talking with people, interviewing them for a second time possibly?
There is no evidence to support foul play.
Has there already acted?
Well,
We have
no, so they've asked him several times and he's keen to repeat, isn't he? No evidence to support foul play. But we did hear that with the Samantha Murphy case as well until they finally arrested Patrick. So
tips called in daily.
Any of the tips seem legitimate enough to expand law enforcement resources?
Regardless of their legitimacy, we're going to follow up on them.
Will there be any other agencies pulled in to help in the search efforts for this case?
I'm certain there will be.
You met with the biological father and mother this past week. Is that at their request, your request? Is that just re-interviewing them again?
That was at the request of law enforcement. It's not uncommon to talk to the family in investigations like this. I've got time for one more question.
Overall, how has this investigation impacted the morale at your department, especially with all the scrutiny coming online?
Let me put it to you like this. If my kid was missing, this is the team I'd want on it. The men and women in Sumner County Sheriff's Office, of the Tennessee Bureau of Investigations, the FBI partners.
yeah, that's a very telling thing that he said, isn't he? If my kid was missing, this is a team I'd want on it. You know, I do feel that the police are really keen to find Sebastian. What the dynamics are. I mean, when we think back really 8 months, has it been 10 months now? So it was February, wasn't it? Yeah, so really it's been 10 months since it happened. All the twists and turns, there was the lie detector test, there was the initial stages when all of them were appearing on different YouTubers, social media things. Now, of course, Seth's got his own social media account and he's doing his own telephones and things, which I'll say, if Katie did that, if Katie set up a YouTube account and did a telephone and received all this money, everyone would be up in arms. But these are all the twists and turns that have happened, isn't it, in this case? And somewhere in the middle of it all, Sebastian definitely got lost. But I've been really encouraged lately that I feel like the focus is moving back to Sebastian. What happened to Sebastian? Not about mudslinging between the families and YouTubers who've got nothing to do with it anyway, but the actual focus on what happened to him.
The other local agencies, the Secret Service, everyone who's had a hand in this case is doing everything they can to find Sebastian. Morale's high. We are here and we are dedicated. Thank you all for being here today. Thank you for keeping Sebastian in the public.
So that was a press conference from quite a while ago. It doesn't say allegedly, Shelley, it doesn't say allegedly on the FBI missing poster. Let's have a look. Maybe it does. Let's see. Doesn't say allegedly. It says last seen, doesn't it? Let's see. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Let's put that up so you can all see it. This is the FBI website. He was last seen on February the 26th. And unless I'm getting my dates wrong, maybe I am. Let me see. Was it the Sunday or the Monday? Need my glasses, see the small print. It's a Monday. So it doesn't say allegedly, Shelley. Sorry, I've got to pull you up there because we've got to get this right. It does not say allegedly. It says he was last seen on February the 26th. So there's a reason why they're saying that. So that's all I'm saying. Maybe this is the other information that they've got. He says he's got more information, but he can't talk about it because it could be prejudicial to the inquiry. Maybe whatever that information is the reason why they were saying he was last seen on the Monday. I think this is a clue that everybody's missed, that nobody wants to accept he was last seen on the Monday, but he was. So sorry, it's not allegedly, it's definitely, according to the poster. And, you know, you've got to accept what the FBI have to say or not. It's up to you, obviously. So let's just have a look. What else did I want to show you? That's the FBI poster. So giving you the recent update, which really all they're saying, oh, here's an update where this was again 8 months ago. So, you know, these are the only updates. God, they call it, you know, they're updates, but they're from so long ago. I do think this is a mistake. There needs to be, even if it's just an update to say there's no update, they should maybe be doing something. But let's have a look at this. So this is, remember when they searched that retention?
There's been an exhaustive search for Sebastian Rogers, but with few updates from authorities in recent weeks, some have wondered, is it...
So they searched this retention pond, didn't they? And he wasn't there.
Enough being done.
We're doing everything we can do. Every time a tip comes in, we follow up on it.
Eric Craddock is chief deputy with the Sumner County Sheriff's Office and heads up the investigation. He sat down for an exclusive one-on-one to talk about what they do when there are few new leads.
I think in the absence of information, what we'll continue to do is go back over everything we've already done once, put a fresh set of eyes on it.
To that end, Craddock says searchers recently found a pair of glasses, which they are checking to see if they belong to Sebastian. He says the parents continue to fully cooperate.
Any evidence of foul play?
We have not cleared anyone, but we have absolutely no evidence to support foul play.
I asked about exclusive home security video obtained.
You know, he can't say any more than that, can he? He has not cleared anyone, but he has no evidence of foul play. So what else can he say, really? And, you know, at the end of the day, people will believe what they want to believe. As I say, YouTubers making dramatic claims just for clicks and things isn't going to help. You know, you can say anything you want on social media. I could do a video later and say, oh, you know, Sebastian seen in Timbuktu, and people would still watch the video. You might not believe me, but they'd still watch the video, you know, or Sebastian's sat in my basement playing video games. People would watch that video. Of course they would, but they might not necessarily believe me, but they'd watch it.
And from the neighborhood the night Sebastian disappeared. You can see two suspicious light sources, which we've circled here in an area behind the teen's home. Since we first aired the video last month, authorities have said...
No evidentiary value?
It is of no evidentiary value.
Can you tell me what those lights are?
No.
Why?
Because the investigation remains ongoing.
And so it could play a role.
That is, I mean, that is confusing, isn't it? So remember, we watched the lights. Was it yesterday? We watched the lights video again. So he's just said to him, are they of any evidentiary value? And he said, no. And then he said, well, can you tell me what they are? And he said, no. So obviously there's something about these lights. Maybe, you know, just, it's the mystery of it, isn't it, that gets people. So they're not of evidentiary value, but I can't tell you what they are. I mean, it is a bit confusing that. I've got to hold my hands up and say that is confusing.
Down the road, depending on developments?
We don't know what we don't know. So yes, it could play a role.
So many are, of course, closely following this case.
How difficult has it been, all the noise on social media?
Oh, the rumor mill on social media has done nothing to advance this case.
Craddock says investigators continue to work the case daily and deal not with feelings, but facts and evidence.
There's no stone left unturned.
Nick Barris, News Channel 5.
God, I've come to really, really hate that expression, no stone unturned, because, you know, it comes up so many times. Now, while I've been talking to you, I've just had some really exciting news. Well, you know, maybe it's not that exciting, but I'm going to do a video later tonight about Jay Slater. That's another controversial case, isn't it? And I've been waiting for some confirmation of something. And I've just had it literally while we were on air, so I'm really looking forward to that. We'll be doing a video about Jay tonight, and I think you'll find it a very interesting video. I hope so. Anyway, another contentious case where some people believe, there's been quite a few of these sort of cases lately, haven't there? I mean, I much prefer reporting on cases where we're all united in the fact of who's the good guy, who's the bad guy, But unfortunately, lately we've had quite a few cases, haven't we, where this, a real split in opinion between people, like the Delphi case. I think it's going to come up with with the Idaho 4 case. Unbelievably, lots of people don't think he was guilty, and there's going to be that big divide in who's guilty, who's not guilty. The Jay Slater case, big divide. Some people thinking foul play, other people not thinking anything of the kind. So I do prefer cases, where we all agree, on who's the bad guy, like Stefan Stearns. But even that, actually, in the Madeline Soto case, that's causes a lot of dissent, doesn't it? Because a lot of people think Jen had something to do with it, and other people don't think she had anything to do with it. So there's a lot of, and the thing is, it's good to have different opinions, but you do have to respect other people's opinions. That's all I know. There's a lot of people think Katie and Chris are responsible for Sebastian's disappearance. I personally am not one of them, but then everybody has their view. But if you look, there's no evidence to suggest they are, but it doesn't stop people will take their views. And now this has developed into this sort of, as I say, with the private investigators, you've got Steve Fisher against sort of Dog the Bounty Hunter and Nick the Hat. And, it's like Bullhorn Betty versus Cluminati or whatever, because everybody goes into different camps, don't they? I try and I'm not on anybody's side in this case, except for Sebastian. If tomorrow some evidence came up that Katie had done something, or Chris had done something, or Seth had done something, I would be reporting on that. I'm not trying to favour one or the other. I'm just looking at the evidence, and I can't see any evidence that any of them has done anything yet. But of course, that could change. Definitely could change, of course. Hopefully tomorrow, or today even, when America wakes up, let's hope that there's some news every day. We would hope that there's some more news. And of course, the news that we're really, really hoping for is that Sebastian will be found safe and well. And as I've said many times, I hope he is being hidden somewhere by someone on a scam. Nothing would please me more if Sebastian is safe and well somewhere, whatever the situation is, So, yeah. Okay, so I'm warming up a little bit now, even though my nose doesn't look as if I am, because I've got the heater on. Yeah, that's it. So we're going to talk about Jay Slater later, and everyone again will have their views there. I've got my views about Jay Slater. There's nothing that I've seen that's changed my views, and what I'm going to show you tonight might change your view, but it just confirms mine. Very interesting. I'm really quite excited about it. So anyway, sorry, I'm having a look at the chat here there now. Oh, yeah, another thing that the police guy said was that they did send in the cadaver dogs to the house and that. So, they will have checked cars and the house and everything. Nothing's been found. So I don't think anything happened to him in the house. I don't know what happened to him. I personally think he came to some accidental thing, or maybe foul play. But basically, I have no clue. I have no clue what happened to Sebastian. Now look at Caleb Harris. Don't know if those of you know the case of Caleb. That's another one, isn't it? Because Caleb, of course, he just went out for a walk around near his university apartments, disappeared, and was found months later, and he'd fallen into a sewer. If they think he fell through like a manhole cover that was exposed in the fields. But of course, some people think, no, he came to some foul play and was put down. Somebody put him in that manhole cover. And, in cases like that, you think, will we ever find out for sure? Because, I'm presuming anybody that was a suspect in Caleb's disappearance, I'm presuming their accommodation, etc., was checked, and that. What, did Caleb come to foul play somewhere else and was put down a sewer, or did he literally fall down the sewer? Strange things do happen. It was just near where I lived. There was a lady fell down the side of a Centro Comercial. There was like she was walking around it, and there was a gap, and she fell down and died. And she was found quite quickly, but there was a case in Tenerife of a guy who did exactly the same thing, and he fell down the side of like a Centro Comercial, a commercial centre in construction, and he wasn't found for months. He was missing for months. Nobody knew where he was. So strange things do happen. Not everything is a conspiracy. Sometimes whatever it looks like happened did happen. But occasionally it is a conspiracy as well. So, gosh, our job, well, not necessarily our job. We do it because we enjoy, if you like, talking over things and what might have happened. And our end result is all the same. All of us want to see that Sebastian is found. And maybe the way we think of what happened to him or didn't happen to him is different. Maybe our ways of discussing it are different. But ultimately, we have the same goal because, we're talking about the what ifs, etc. And we try and gather what information we can. But we're not detectives. We're not detectives. I'm not a detective. I'm just someone who likes to tell you what's going on because I find it interesting. I know you find it interesting. But I'm not a detective. I'm not going to crack the case. I'm just following the case because I care about what happens to Sebastian. And that's why for quite a long time I didn't do any videos about Sebastian because I didn't think they were helpful with finding out what happened to him. Whereas I do feel more positive now. I do feel like there's been like a bit of a shift and it's going back to Sebastian again. So, I think it's it feels better. Feels like, it doesn't feel very positive in a way. You can't help but think that something bad has happened to Sebastian. But as long as there's hope, there's hope. There's still hope. There's got to be hope. Okay, so hopefully I'll catch you later. And as I say, I think you're going to find, designs. Oh, Samantha Murphy, I check every day for information about Samantha. That horrible twonk Patrick, of course, he's gone through the Supreme Court now, so it'll be even more secretive than it would have been. We'll get no information. What we didn't get much before, but at least when it came to the court hearings at Ballarat Crown Court, I have got I did watch those by video link. I have got, all the details of those. But now the last one and all future ones will be in the Supreme Court. And I don't know if we'll get, unless you can actually go there and watch it. I don't think you can watch it by link like you could with the Ballarat Court one. So we'll get no information until the trial, and then it won't be televised. I doubt, they don't televise them, do they, in the Supreme Court in Australia? So we'll only get to hear what's going on if anybody's there to report on what's going on. Which will be frustrating, but we think it's frustrating for us, but imagine how that is for the family. They've got to wait for that as well, another year, because it's going to be May, isn't it, or something, before that case is going to be heard. So that's another load of waiting time for the family. Just torment for these families that have to wait and wait and wait for cases. Even when the I think it's Melbourne. designs, but I'm not 100% sure. Is there one in Melbourne and Ballarat then? I know, I think the Supreme Court is, I don't think there's a Supreme Court in Ballarat. I'll just check. I think it is Melbourne. Yeah, it's Victoria, the Supreme Court of Victoria. So I think that's where it's going to be held. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, so I'll see you later, hopefully. Hope you'll come and join me to watch this video about Jay, or about Jay's case, and I hope you'll find it interesting. Yeah, there's so many other things to talk about. Oh, just before we go, I'll just check to see if there's been anything about the Sarah Sherif trial, though I would do a separate video anyway for that, I think. We're still waiting. So in the trial of Sarah Sherif, who was the little girl who was found dead at home, that her father killed her, I think, or a family killed her, we're still waiting. The jury is still out considering the verdicts. And I think that's a positive thing. I noticed that in the Delphi case. The longer when the jury took a little while, at first it was you thought they were going to find him not guilty, Richard Allen. But then when it went a bit longer again, then you start thinking, no, that they're going to find him guilty. And I think what's happening here with the Sarah Sherif murder is there are 3 of them on trial. And I think, you know, they'll just be deciding. And they're all 3 are on trial for causing the death of a child and allowing the death of a child. So I think it's just be a case of decisions as to which people they should find guilty of which offence. I think there's definitely, you know, guilty verdicts coming out, but of what, I don't know. So, okay, bye, take care. And until I see you again, may your God go with you. Bye.